So what got you in this journey?
I was in my low phase. There was this book that changed me by changing my thoughts. There was a huge boulder, a huge rock in front of my car. Please keep them safe. Let nothing happen to the car. Dropped them. Now is the time. I have to cross a particular road. And then from the rearview mirror, I see another being sitting behind me. Just in a couple of seconds, I see another being in front of the car. The Chudail word keeps running in my head. If you ever see something like that in the night, look for the legs. If the feet are reversed, then it's a dark energy.
You telling me that they don't judge, so it's all right. You can have a sip of alcohol and you can still have their presence around.
Yeah, because that's what they told me. They says, we are not judging you by what you wear, what you eat, what you drink. So why are you judging yourself? The only religion we have is a religion of humanity. Can we be human enough with each other?
Hi, this is me, Ashmita, and I welcome you to my very first podcast, Worthy with Ash. On this podcast, I interview authors, coaches, and everyone else who can help us up level in our lives and align to our highest destiny. I am so excited. I've been manifesting this for quite some time now, and it's finally happening. I am super grateful, and I'm really looking forward to introducing you all to my very first guest, and it is Shilpa M. Menon. She has been one of my mentors for quite some time now, and I've received so much wisdom and guidance from her along my own spiritual journey, and I'm super grateful that she's here with us today. She's an NLP practitioner, a Reiki grandmaster, a psychic medium, an animal communicator, a life transformational coach. She's also the author of the best-selling book Living with Angels and the co-author of the book Coach Wisdom. She's also writing another book which we'll talk about very, very soon. And she's India's one of the finest few firewalk specialists. People call her a smile spreader. In this podcast today, we're going to explore the depths of faith. We're going to witness how faith can change our lives, and it is going to help us increase our belief in ourselves and the presence of the light beings, the angelic beings. There are some very interesting supernatural stories that Shilpa shares with us on this podcast. So I'm really excited for us to go deep and explore and expand our perception of how we view this world and the world beyond. So let's get started. So let's welcome Shilpa Menon. Hi, Shilpa.
Hi.
I'm so grateful to have you here today.
Me too. I'm extremely excited to be with you today. And I've seen this journey where you've been waiting to start start a podcast of your own. So congratulations. I'm very excited to be with you.
Same here. I'm so happy to have you here. And thank you for being my first guest. And may you continue coming back here. That's my intention. And we share a lot more stories. But starting with, something about you, which is you being a smile spreader. Tell us something about that. Why are you called as a smile spreader in your inner circle?
Yeah, so I'm in a serious business of spreading smiles.
Okay.
I just love spreading smiles. I really believe that, smile is something very contagious. So even if you don't want to smile at someone, but if you just give a sweet little smile, whatever the mood is, the person invariably reflects back and smiles a little bit. Also, a couple of years ago, it's almost 2 decades now actually, where I read this somewhere that, if you want to really give something, you want to be something, start sharing it with people. And the article had told me, I still recall what I had read was, please ensure that you look after 5 people each day in some form of or the other and give the kindness back. So I will call it, sharing the kindness or paying it forward. So that is when I started this journey where I would walk on the street and I find someone, and if I like something, I will compliment the person genuinely. And it's beautiful, Ashmita, to watch the sudden mood shifting and smile like, oh wow, thank you, And
Yeah.
then you can see, and I have noticed that for couple of meters away when they're walking, there is a smile that continues and the entire mood and the energy shifted. So I love shifting energies. I love changing the environment to more calm, more vivacious, more exuberance. What I started to realize, because back in those days, I was going through a little difficult journey of my own where I'd forgotten how to smile for my own self. And I really convinced myself to wake up and say, just smile and the mood changes, because the body does not know what you're really feeling. So
Okay.
if you smile, then body is getting the message that you're happy. That's the neurotransmitter message. So I decided to take up this challenge back in those days that I'm going to literally give this smile to people. What I realized is I started to become a happier person. The
Oh,
more
wow.
I gave, the more I received. And it's now 20 years. It's an unconscious, it's become such a part of my daily routine
Yeah.
to ensure that I am spreading the smile.
Wow, that's an interesting intention to have. And I've always seen you carry some intention into everything and every action that you do. It's always backed by a good intention. So that's beautiful. So you talk about, being a life transformation coach. You are a psychic medium. You are an NLP practitioner, a Reiki grandmaster. So what got you in this journey? What led you to your spiritual awakening?
Wow. So, I come back that my intention was to spread smiles. And, because I was in my low phase, there was this book that changed me by changing my thoughts. And I remember there was a power of prayers and affirmations that got me to start thinking that can I also, what is working for me, can I pay it forward to people and change people's life? That was an intention raised at 18 or 19. It was forgotten, by the way. As I was reading the book, I was very inspired that someday I'll be able to do this to others. And of course, then life had a different plan back in those days. So I would work and I had a job. Um, this was just in my mid 20s, this experience that I had that completely shifted me. So I had just learned driving and I was just overcoming my fear of driving, by the way. And it was literally something I had a license since I was 18, but I had not started to drive yet. And now was my journey of learning to drive, and I'd gotten the hang of it, and I'd borrowed a friend's car. Um, so, Bombay is one city where you only get open roads in the night because the entire day you're driving at 10 and 20 kilometers. Literally, you're driving very slowly because of the traffic. So I picked up my friends in the night. We said, let's go for dinner somewhere. Picked up from their office, and we went to this place for dinner, a midnight snack of sorts. And when we were returning back, I was driving at 60 kmph. I still remember this, and it was a friend's car. And we were just crossing through a service road. Okay. Now it's a single lane, so you can't move your car anywhere because there's a footpath around. Okay. And that's the only way to get to the place we had to go to. Uh, and as I was driving, suddenly from nowhere, I don't know if I missed it or what it was, but when I look in front, there was a huge boulder, a huge rock in front of my car. Okay. And I don't know what to do. I'm at a speed and no one else knows what to do. And I'm like, I can't go right or left because there's a footpath. And I just, in my head, in my heart, I chanted. Literally, I called upon God and I said, I don't know what I'm doing. Just save me. And I just went over the boulder. I just went over that rock, okay? And of course, then when we moved ahead, we stopped the car and there was a chassis being bent. It was a low ground clearance car, so there was some kind of a leakage happening and there was a dent and there was a little bit of damage on the underneath and stuff. And suddenly, this car is giving us a symbol, a signal, like of sorts. And we didn't know what it meant, honestly, because I knew the fuel symbol, I knew everything else, but not this. And much later, we realized this is a hazard symbol. So we started calling some of our friends, that we don't know kya ho raha hai, like, what's happening. This is, we also don't know. So we're like, okay. And here in the deepest of my heart, I'm praying. I said, I have 3 girls with me in the car. God, please keep them safe. Let nothing happen to the car. And I kept chanting in my heart, dropped them. Then I had to go home, okay, because they had to pick up a cab and go from there. And then I had to go home. Now is the time I have to cross a particular road. Okay, it's again another. It was a bypass, and it was quite isolated, and I had to cross that road. And in India, we are quite used to listening to stories of ghosts and spirits. I think it's very common that we talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
And my village, my community, it's very common to talk about it. So usually these things don't fear me because I've grown up with this environment. But well, that day, I don't know what hit me. I was extremely fearful. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And this is an alley and a bylane where people have spoken about chudels. I'm really using the word chudels. There are witches and there are entities that comes through. And I was literally palpitating and breathing and chanting and chanting. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm alone and I hope I'll be safe. And as I'm chanting, suddenly I feel that there is something in the next, just in the co-driver's seat. Okay, and and I'm looking like this, and I'm like, what? What just happened? And there is an image. There is actually a holographic form of a figure who's of my master.
Oh.
Okay, and I was praying to him. See, one is to pray, and one is to see something right in front of you. So I saw him, and I'm like, you can't be here, And he's telling me with his eyes and telepathically that sab theek ho jayega. Everything's going to be good with you. All is well. Don't worry. And here, what my mind is thinking, the Bollywood child that I was growing up watching movies and dramas, not many, but the little that I watched, was that, when you're dying is when you meet your masters and guides and people come to you. So now the car is damaged. There is a leakage. There is a symbol. I don't know what's happening to the car. Is it petrol leaking or is it a coolant leaking? I don't know. I'm just scared. And now I'm seeing my master sitting next to me. So here I'm thinking, this is it. This is the end of my life. I'm just going to die now. Um, and while I'm thinking that, and he's still sitting there, and he's just smiling, like, sweetly smiling. And I'm like, wow. That's
And
it.
who is this master?
So that's Shri Sai Baba. Okay,
Oh.
and I could literally see him sitting next to me, and it's very naive of me now to like feel scared, but back in those days, I think it was naive of me then to feel so scared. Actually, now I know it's okay to feel what you feel, but I was like, oh my god, I'm dying. And then from the rear view mirror, I can see someone sitting behind me. And I was chanting Om Sai Ram. So, jo bulaya hai, whoever you're calling, ask and you shall receive. I've received help, and that was in literal form. And I was like, okay. And then from the rear view mirror, I see another being sitting behind me. And I was like, this is madness. And there is this luminescent light. It's again a holographic light, beautiful aura. I feel it was a masculine aura because I felt that shape and form. It's a holographic image, and
So holographic image is like an outline.
it's an outline.
With
Yeah.
light.
Yeah, with light. At least that's how I saw it.
And there's
Okay?
nothing in between.
Nothing in between. You can just feel it, that there's a presence around you. And I was like, 1 + 1. And even that energy is a masculine energy saying, you're going to be fine. Don't worry. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is it. Now it is definitely end of my life. 1 + 1 is here. And then I'm driving forward. And again, and all this is happening in few seconds. It's not hours. Okay. Just in a couple of seconds, I see another being in front of the car. And that's a feminine energy. And here my story goes, the Chudel word keeps running in my head because a friend of mine had told me, Shilps, if you ever see something like that in the night, look for the legs. If the feet are reversed, then it's a dark energy. Whatever. So but that didn't happen. So I'm trying to see. I can't see no legs. But what shifted for me in that moment was I just felt my heart opening up and I felt a sense of calm. Next thing I know, my car is below the building. And that must be a good 15 minutes drive from that point. Okay. But next thing I know is I'm so calm. I'm still chanting. I've parked the car. Now again I'm praying to the car, to universe, to Baba. Baba is with me, but I'm still praying to him. He's next to me. I'm not having conversation with him. So I'm like, please keep the car safe till morning because I'll call the mechanic. I'll fix it. Let nothing happen. There's a school here. It's a society. Don't blast in the middle of... I was literally that scared because I just didn't know. And then I lived on the second floor back in those days where I lived. So I climbed 2 floors and I could feel their energies with me. And how crazy of me, I'm just slamming the door saying, please don't enter in. Because I'm scared. I don't want to see them. Funny, you're calling them, but you're scared of them. And they were very kind. They didn't enter in. Obviously, today when I think back, I laugh. I said they never opened the door to enter my car as well. They're energetic beings. They can show up in any form, any shape, any size.
Yeah.
But they were kind enough to not show up. Then I called a friend and I said, you know what? I met a friendly ghost, Casper. I just couldn't tell them I saw a master. I saw another being helping me. And they said, just sleep. You had a rough night. I said, yeah, actually. And it was 2:33, by then. Then at about 7-ish, I'm just trying to remember, some early morning, okay, I called up a mechanic and it was a regular guy I used to work with. He used to work with us for the cars and stuff. So I called him and I said, you know what, before you go to the garage, come down, check the car, give me an estimate, and let me know what we can do, because it is not my car, it's a responsibility, so I want to ensure how I take it is how I give back intact. So he comes, he takes the car keys, he goes down, uh, he calls me, he says, kya bol rahe hain aap, what are you saying? And I'm going to go a little back step, that the previous night when I had this experience, I was literally asking myself that, was I hallucinating? Do I need to go to a doctor?
Yeah.
Is there a chemical imbalance, basically? What we say, chemical locha, literally is what I was thinking that time. And at the same time, there was this hope, a glint of hope. And I was like, if you truly showed up, and this was not a figment of my imagination, give me a sign. Just give me a sign.
And did they give you a sign?
That's where the story continues.
Okay.
Okay. So I didn't know they will give me a sign, because until now the thought was, what if I'm just making this up and mind is going cuckoo? Now this guy calls me. He says, "Aake dekhiye," and by now I'm little edgy that it's just one task given to you, and the dent is very visible, and the leakage is there, and there is a hazard symbol. You know what? I go down, and when I go down, the car was healed. There was no damage,
What?
no more leakage, nothing. Everything that had happened the previous night and we all had seen it,
Even the dent wasn't there.
nothing was there.
Wow.
Everything, the symbol had stopped. Everything was fine and functional. So I get it why he couldn't see it, because there was nothing to see by now. And we had 3 witnesses who had seen the damage, and we had friends who we had called, the guy friends who would understand car and guide us. So I called them. I said, "You remember all of this?" He says, "Yes." I said, "There is nothing there. Like, you're going mad again, because last night you talked about a friendly ghost. Now you're saying the car is healed, but the car was healed. There was not a single sign." This was my conscious waking up journey, where I was like, "Oh my God, I was helped. Oh my God, I actually experienced Shri Sai Baba next to me." And then I started to question that, who were these 2 beings then?
And did the female being, how was her legs?
She didn't have
How
no
were her
legs.
feet?
I couldn't see the legs, What happened was that the moment I saw her, I was trying to see the leg. She just brushed past like a wind, And all I remember is I felt so calm and so transfixed that the next thing I know is I'm home. I was already very calm, and I believe in 3 signs and 3 validations, 1, 2, and 3. Even back in those days, I had this 3 rule. If somebody hurts me 3 times or something happens, after 3, it's a cutoff, or after 3, it's a yes. So that was my own mental story I'd given myself, that I believe in 3 signs and 3 validations. And anything anybody does, I give them 3 chances.
Yeah, that's interesting, because that's how I started my YouTube channel as well. I got 3 signs.
Oh my God.
I waited for 3 people or 3 signs to help me in, align to this direction. And so, yeah, that's how I started.
That's interesting. So, wow. Yeah, so of course, 3 signs, okay. So, now I'm wondering that who are these beings, that beautiful being and this, okay, Sai Baba, I know. I mean, Sai Baba is someone I've been praying to for years, and I've had some amazing encounters with him. But not this physical. It is more of whatever you ask, it manifests, but not in terms of seeing a master right next to you. So I was like, who is this? Who were these people? Okay, this I understand, but this is new for me. And Shmita, what was very interesting is that in a couple of days, I read an article on angels. And for me, until then, angels are good human beings. Anybody who does good work
Is an angel.
is an angel. I did not know that there is an entire paradigm of celestial beings who are called as angels. And angels literally comes from the Greek word angelos, which means messenger of divine. And that's when I realized that who I encountered were angels. And they were my guardian angels, helping me out. And behind me was Archangel Michael. Of course, I discovered all that much later. But back in those days, the first thing I discovered is that there were 2 angels with me.
How did you know it was Archangel Michael?
So the energy and the feeling, because then I started to communicate and connect. So I'll go a step forward, that after this, I got introduced to the world of angels. And I'm going to share one more crazy miracle over here. And again, I thought I'm going cuckoo because I had already shifted to another city, Pune, by then. And again, I started to see them, feel them, sense them in the evenings. And I was like, bro, something's up with you in your life. Seeing it once, fine. But now I'm constantly seeing they're telling me stuff. I'm getting messages. So I again asked, I said, how do I know I'm not making this up? Because where I was working, the mental institute was just next to it. I said, others I'll have to probably go to a mental institute and submit saying I'm a classic schizophrenic, I'm hallucinating. Please God, I don't know what's happening to me. So this is no, we are genuinely here and we are talking to you and we're guiding you. I've had amazing conversations with them. So that day, I said, you'll have to give me a sign again that you truly exist. Okay. So the first most miraculous sign that came through in couple of days, actually, that was I had just moved to a second apartment. So I had finished my 1 year lease and I'd moved to another apartment. So no one knew where I was living. And of course, these were not the conversations about a decade and a half ago where I would say I'm seeing people and beings. Not possible. I didn't have that friend circle who would understand that I'm experiencing some different kind of an experience, and it's a very different experience. I myself didn't know. Today we can call it esoteric, metaphysical, but that time I didn't know what was happening. Uh, at my doorstep, I wish I had bought that gift that the angels themselves had delivered to me. That is an Archangel Oracle deck. There was a deck delivered outside my house as a sign that I am connecting with angels. And when I pulled out the card, I could recognize that that is Archangel Michael whom I had met.
But who sent the deck?
I still don't know because no one knew I had moved into this place. That is why I said it's a miracle. I still don't know.
You still don't know
I
where the
still
deck came
don't know.
from?
No.
Oh my God,
It
that's
was
huge.
because when you ask how did your journey start, this was, I had to go really with a long story because this was the backdrop of how my journey started and how angels started to communicate, how Baba came into my life to guide me around angels. And then there was no stopping. And after that, for a couple of days, I was like, wow, this is crazy. So there was a secret Santa. No one knows. It's because I asked them that you have to give me a sign to believe this is my path. Then whoever I would meet, you know, if I've met you, let's take an example, and you're telling me a story, and you're talking about someone else, the angel will tell me what to tell you about that person and describe that person. And I started to describe the person, and she's like, "But you don't know." I said, "Yeah, I can see it." I would guess good. The person's like, "You're creeping me out." I said, "I'm also getting creeped out. I don't know how I know all this, but I just know it." And they would tell me, now I'm going to say this, you're going to say this is how the person looks like, this is what is going to happen, and I would tell them that. So, and that started to get validated. And that's when I knew that what I'm experiencing is real.
Is real.
It's absolutely real for me, and it's my personal experience, and it's my personal truth. And
Wow.
this is how my journey started way back. Couple of months later, I was asked to quit the job and walk the path. I was reminded of the promise I made to myself when I was 19 that I will someday change people's life. And here I was given an opportunity to work with people. And I was told that it's time for you to quit. And I'm like, you and I have got, for me, angels and masters are like my buddies, like my friends. It's like a personal conversation I'm holding with my council of people. So I'm like, and today I would probably not say this, but back in those, I'm like, you're mad or what? You can't tell me to quit. I have EMIs to pay, I have rent to pay. It's not possible, you know. And I still remember Baba smiling very sweetly and telling me, you'll be looked after. Don't worry. Just take the leap of faith, you know. Um, I did. I did. I just don't know why, but when I woke up, I knew it in my heart. I'm supposed to resign. And I resigned with immediate effect, not even a notice. Just did, of course, what is a due diligence, handovers, and whatever the formalities. But I actually quit.
And that's how your journey began.
And that's how my journey began.
That is beautiful.
It's just-
And I feel, Shilpa, that the angels made it very clear that they want to support you, that they want to work with you, that they want to guide you. And what about those who don't receive those clear signs?
So I'm going to tell you something, Ashmita, that angels are not just for one person. Every human being on earth has minimum two guardian angels. Okay? They constantly give us signs, but their way of giving signs is different, and one needs to understand that. Okay, and I do understand that, not that we are very aware of what are the signs. In my situation, it was absolutely direct, so I was aware and it was very palpable. But as I started to converse with them, and I wanted to spread the message forward and have more and more people understand that you have these beautiful, unconditional, non-judgmental beings waiting to help you all the time, assigned for you, with you, to help you live your ultimate potential to your highest best. Invite them, invoke them, call upon them, and they would say, yeah, we are calling, but we don't know. So their way of connecting with us is through massive signs and symbols, and we need to become aware of that. If an angel is passing by, your heart will tend to feel calm. The energy of the room will change. The breath is becoming better. You get goosebumps. There is a peculiar sound that comes in. So there are plenty many ways. One of the most common is, if you call upon an angel and a butterfly passes by, or a feather comes in from nowhere, the angels are saying, hey, we are here. And these days, the most common occurrence is because we are so much into the digital and the social media world, and we always have a phone with us and everything. So now angels have started communicating through numbers: 1111, 2222, 1122. Of course, they all have their own meanings.
Yeah.
So they are communicating. It's just that we need to tune in and be receptive that they are around and I can sense them. And second, we need to believe that they're really talking, they're connecting. That's very important. Plus, I'm going to go a little back step. That for me also, when I experienced Sai Baba and the angels, I did have a bit of a fear that what is happening to me. So angels know that if you're not prepared, they're not going to come in form of apparitions and holographic images. They will come in subtler nuances by giving you signs. Sometimes it'll be a radio channel, sometimes somebody will just walk up and give you a compliment or a message. They also, a lot of times, angels inspire other people who are very receptive to pass the message to the other person. They literally whisper.
Is there a way we can become more comfortable with seeing them?
I think that's going to be a journey of one um, owning and acknowledging that they exist. And when we do see them, we are going to be fine with it. And most of us say we are fine with it. And I've asked this question to many people. I said, you say you want to see God, but what if God comes in front of you? And they're like, okay. I said, do you know what God looks like, feels like? No, we don't know. So maybe they are there and we've not even recognized them.
Is there a reason why they don't show up for us, like to us?
They're supposed to be in the light body. They're not. It's not necessary that everybody is going to see. Some people hear it. Some people sense it.
Okay.
Some people feel it, because it depends on what is your predominant senses. Mine is very highly auditory. So I most of the time hear the whispers and sounds. Just for these couple of encounters, I have seen them. It's not like I see them 24/7.
They say that angels come in, stream in, especially at the time of life and death, and you felt that that could be one of those times.
Absolutely. It is a cardinal rule that if you've called upon a help, then they will come in the most critical situations of your life. Now, angels do not interfere in human beings' free will. Okay? So they don't come till you don't call upon them or ask them. In my situation, I was constantly chanting and saying, Baba, help me, please help me, please help me. You see? And it's like you calling 911. When you call 911, direct operator, for help, whatever is the nearest available team that's going to come to you. And the closest team to every human being is the team of angels.
Do you think where you were passing by and it was already known as a place where
There are spirits.
there are spirits, do you think there was a portal there that they could come in and make themselves visible to you?
Absolutely. There is an entire level of conversation around portals, but yes, there are places on earth and there are places in cities and homes and where there are portals where the energy beings can come through much more easier. The veil is quite thinner. Dreams are portals. They can even come to you in your dreams. Your dreams are your portals. Yeah. So it could be. I don't know. Can I be honest? I've never given it a thought that was it a portal. But I guess my fear was at prime that time. And so was my prayer. Like I must have really prayed hard and loud, to have that experience that, what? I think I'm dying. just I may not be dying. I don't know. But I was just so scared, So they had to show up. And I personally believe that it was a part of my life purpose.
To see them.
to see them. To be because I've been an absolute left brain person before that. If someone would tell me about guides or gurus, I'm like, yeah, nice, 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 or miracles, and I would literally laugh. So to have a miracle of a car is good for someone like me who's always laughed. I'm like, it doesn't happen. I said, I know God exists, and of course I know God exists, and I know there's goodness. But don't tell me things which can beat the laws of physics. It beats me. And I experienced all of that.
Yeah.
You see, and then I was like, no, it does happen. Maybe they had to, not maybe, I just know that they had to make me a believer. It was my journey of saying that, or experiencing, I'm just trying to find the right words actually. It was totally for me to experience what is ultimate faith and what does it mean to see them, witness them, and sense their presence, you know.
And what was it? How was it like? How did your body feel? Or how did your heart feel in that
So the
moment?
first time, the first two times I was a settled fear, but when I saw the third one, um, I completely went in a state of deep calm. Heart was expanded. It's this snuggly feeling of someone hugging you like a warm embrace, like a blanket wrapped around you. That is the feeling I had of safety, of protection. It's like when you're a little child, you're in a cradle and someone's wrapped you. That was the feeling I felt.
And she was your guardian
She
angel,
was
is
my
it?
guardian angel. She still is my guardian angel. I'm so grateful to her. She still shows up when I need her the most.
Oh, wow. And we all have guardian
We
angels,
all
right?
have minimum two guardian angels. Minimum. We do. They are assigned to us from birth. And to each and every one of us, it's up to us whether we listen, we connect. They are waiting to help us at all time, at all times.
Wow.
Yeah.
And before I move forward, I want to ask you, how was it meeting with Sai Baba? Like, how was that whole experience, seeing him in a form, in a light form in front of you? How was that?
I'm sure you are able to see I'm already breathing deep, and there's a sense of overwhelm that usually happens. Like I can end up crying at times. I Because I was in crisis, I didn't have a lot of time to process at that point because the intention was to anyhow keep the car safe, reach home. But when later I had enough and more time, I was very overwhelmed to have that presence next to me and to know that yes, I'm so loved and looked after. And my favorite affirmation and prayer after that has been I'm God's favorite child. God really looks after me, and when I need Him the most,
Yeah.
um, it's there.
And
And
I think that's an affirmation that I've been practicing too since the time I am really supporting myself in raising my own self worth. This affirmation has helped me a lot. That I'm God's favorite child. God loves me.
yeah, and I'm worthy of all great things,
Yeah.
and God does look after me. I deserve good things. I deserve God's love because most of us believe that we don't even deserve Guru's love or angels' love or God's love. We just feel that something's off with us, and we may have done certain things in our life which we may not be so very happy with. So we start beating ourselves up and we feel guilty, and there's repentance. But what I realized in so many years of working with them and connecting with them and God's grace, they don't judge us. They just love us as we are, and they are constantly kind and compassionate. They'll say it's okay next time.
Yeah. And I think one of the most interesting things that I once asked you was that, and Shilpa, do you think angels are with me when I'm having a sip of alcohol?
Yeah.
And you said that angels don't judge. So you can be having a sip of alcohol and you can still have your angels around and they can still be communicating with you.
Absolutely.
And that opened my eyes because up until now, I thought I had to be a certain way. I had to be perfect to be able to communicate with angelic beings, light beings. I have to live my life a certain way to have that connection with them. But after speaking with you and you telling me that they don't judge, so it's all right. You can have a sip of alcohol and you can still have their presence around. That was a game changer for me.
Yeah, because that's what they told me. They says we are not judging you by what you wear, what you eat, what you drink. So why are you judging yourself? We are still with you. And I had multiple questions because the way I was raised, it was an absolute opposite life I was living. So by that virtue, it was, I'm a sinner, and I was like, "No, dude, I'm a sinner. Why you even talking to me? I don't deserve you." This is, no, it doesn't matter what you've done. It matters how you move forward. Okay, and the beauty about angels is, Ashmita, that they'll guide you. If you don't follow, it's all right, because it's your path. You're here to on your own journey. So they are not upset with you. It's not like I've had people who said, angels don't talk to me. It's not like that. They're never upset. They're here to help you live to your highest potential. To live or not is your choice. The practical implementation is to be done by us as human beings.
Yeah.
And they will just give you healing, compassionate, growth oriented messages. They will always say, "It's okay, I'm still by your side." And if there is a health challenge, they will say, "I'm going to advise you to cut off this, don't have this." They're not refraining you or admonishing you for not doing that. It's more like, when you're unwell, you tell someone, you have cold, don't have an ice cream, probably, have soup. It's just that. But they're still not judging you. They're so unconditionally loving. I can't tell you how beautiful they are. And what they told me was that, Shilpa, what matters is the intention and the heart.
Yeah.
Not what you wear, not what you eat, not what you drink. Your heart. And what you want to do with that energy is what really matters. What vibration are you carrying when you're praying for someone or inviting us? And let that always be a vibration of kindness, compassion, peace, and love.
Yeah. And they say that we are here to just show you the path,
Yeah.
but you have to walk alone.
Of course,
You
you
have
have
to
to
walk
walk.
by yourself.
You have to, because we are here on earth to have an experience. So let's enjoy this experience. But the beauty is, you're not alone, right? We think we are alone. We are never alone. We have this team of angels, guides. You have no idea how many beings are constantly working with us, helping us, guiding us.
So it's their job to support us, is it?
The angels, their entire, whatever little I know of, okay, is to be messengers of divine and to help you remember who you are, which is your ultimate. We are all fragment of the divine soul. It's to help you awaken, remember. So they have been assigned to help us.
I've been working with the angelic beings for quite some time now, and one thing that I have learned is that it's a part of their purpose too, to help us.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people would ask me, how can we ask for help? How can we ask for support? Why would they help us? They would feel that we're not worthy or deserving enough to call for help, especially for small things. I would guide them. Why not invite angels when you're cooking something? Invite them,
And
cook
why
with
not?
them. But a lot of people would come to me, they would say that, why? That's such a small thing. Why would an angel help me with such a small thing? And that is when I received this guidance that it's a part of their purpose. The more you allow them in, the more they will be able to stream through high vibrational frequency, and the more they will be able to fulfill their own purpose.
Absolutely. And we all have roles, right? This is their role. And I love the thought that, invite them when you're cooking. I genuinely love the thought right now. And if we go back even to our ancient culture, we always say, pray before you cook, pray before you eat. What is the prayer? The prayer is to change the energy, that only good emotions go through the food, and you are being nourished. So when you invite angels, you're actually inviting very high energy.
Yeah.
And thoughts. There was this amazing master I'd met, one of the gurus actually, and I'd met him, and what he told me was that happy thoughts and positive thoughts are the sign that your angels are communicating with you. So imagine inviting an angel while cooking, and then when you're eating, what you eat is what you think and what you become. You're giving that amazing energy to your body. And it is their role, it is a part of their bigger purpose to help humanity, uh, to raise the vibration of Mother Earth, to bring in love, light, and compassion. It is a part of their mission. So they are very happy to help. And Ashwita, there are hundreds and thousands of angels waiting right now to be called. Like, just call. We are happy to help.
So, Shilpa, you have this book which you've written. It's called Living with Angels. And I've read it, and I have gone through the weeks and the exercises given in it. And it's so beautiful and yet so simple and easy. Tell us something about your book and how can we grab it?
So we have a copy here, in fact.
Yeah.
But this book is available on Amazon.India also. It's on available on Kindle. It's available on Amazon worldwide. Uh, then in Indian website, we have it on Pothi and Flipkart. So you can get the paperback versions now. So this is the book, and this is what is available right now. One can just grab this book on Amazon, on Kindle, if you want to do a digital version, and just go through it.
That's fantastic. So, have you ever had a similar experience in the past where you've met your angels, your masters? Have you ever had another experience like the one you described?
Yeah, so I basically dream a lot. Okay,
Hmm.
so in my dreams, I've encountered them a lot. And the last 2 years, I have this habit of writing each and every dream down. Okay, and I got into this practice of waking up and journaling. And then last 1.5 it was even more consistent. So I started this practice just to get to collect what is happening to me in my dreams. And I meet Sai Baba and some of the angels in my dreams who teach me what to do next. So while I was in this whole journey of what next to do and how to work with them and how to decipher the dreams in my waking reality,
Hmm.
uh, it's very interesting you're asking me this because I thought that my conscious journey with angels started in my mid 20s with this car episode, right? However, last year, yeah, it was 2022. Okay, it was on 11/11. I cannot forget the date. That date has any which was very special meaning for me. And I usually say it's time for my rebirth. That's the time when I really go through a lot of journeys and I think a lot.
That's 11th November, right?
11th November,
Hmm.
11/11. And it's interesting. It was 11/11, 2022, 22. So very
Hmm.
interesting the number play that was going on that day. Uh, I woke up as usual and I was just journaling. And can I give you a little bit of a backdrop to this as well?
Yes.
So, when I was really young, in my 17, in my teen, I had almost died
Oh.
and I'd come back. So, I had a near death, what we today call it as a near death experience.
Hmm.
So, I died and I had come back. Now, I knew that when that had happened at that age, when I came back from the hospital and I was home, I was already beginning to change as a person. Okay, there was a lot of conviction, calm, but there was this shift happening over a period of months, and I could feel that shift in my energy. So, what I had done was, I remember in 2021, there was a retreat I was at, and I had put this intention that I know I died, I know I came back, and I knew I had an experience. I knew a bit of it. Okay, so I had prayed to Baba. I said, if you think I'm now ready,
Hmm.
can you tell me what had really happened to me?
Hmm.
I genuinely want to know what happened when I died for a few seconds and I came back. I said, I don't have a memory of it. I just know I was changed and a lot of things had shifted for me in my life. And my connection with him had become deeper when I came back at 17 and a half. I still remember this. So, this intention and prayer I had made like 2 years ago, 2021, October, exactly a year plus later, which is in November 2022, I start to receive an entire answer. So I'm writing, kind of an auto writing. I can see a vision in front of me. I can see a vision here. So my entire room had become 5D. If something like 5D exists, I was experiencing everything while writing in my head, back of my head, in front of me, everywhere. And I was shown that how I was at the hospital table. I died and my soul was out. But before that, I saw there was a beam of light coming in. Okay, it was a beautiful beam of light, and suddenly the entire room had light. And I was like, what is happening to me? And then I saw there were like six of them, minimum six of them, including my grandfather being one of them. My grandfather had moved on by then. And there were a couple of masters and angels who came. Okay, they came and next thing I know is I'm in this other world, which is a huge field of consciousness, pure love. And I'm not even my body. I'm not even that spirit. I'm this little plasma hopping and jumping. And I'm very excited. I'm like, oh, I'm back home. I'm in love. Oh my God, I'm so happy. And thank God I don't have to go back and live this human life again. And I was genuinely very happy and hopping around and experiencing this infinite field of love.
And
You know.
how did it look like? How was
It's
it?
just pure energy. There's a
Hmm.
lot of the colors that I saw there are not the colors I've ever witnessed in my waking reality. You
Wow.
can't describe this. It's not something that I can describe literally. And you know what? No matter what I say, words can't do justice. But I'm still going to like make efforts to even share whatever I could. I was in this whole, it's a very fluffy-ish space, and I'm just, it's just love. One feels it, it's just pure love. You don't have to talk there. You're not even a body. You're just energy. You're an energy bubble. I feel like a little plasma jumping, hopping, and I was very happy. I said, I'm done. Yes, succeeded. Mission on earth aborted of sorts. And then,
So you could feel that you've aborted the mission on
yeah,
Earth.
I thought, I was very happy that I'm home, and I kept saying I'm home. I kept saying I'm home. This is my home. This is my home. And then after a few minutes, I heard a sound, like, how we call Akashwani of sorts. Like, I can hear another sound in the environment, atmosphere I'm in. And this I can feel the sound is telling me, it's not your time, you're going back. And I'm upset. I'm like, no, no, it is my time. See, I'm here. This is no, you have a bigger purpose. You have a mission, and you're going to go back, and you're going to start the work. We'll tell you when, not now. I'm like, no, 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 I'm not qualified. I'm not even studying, like, I'm done. I'm young. I'm not even studying beyond my 12th. And I said, I have no gifts and no skills. I'm good for nothing. I'm good for nothing. This is no, you are. Don't worry. Okay. So I'm like, no, but I don't want to go back. And that conversation is going for a few seconds, which felt like hours of argument. And I'm someone who will negotiate my way through when I want something. And I'm like, no, 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 this is not possible. I'm not going back. He says, you are. I said, okay, fine. So then they gave me a list of things. They said, this is your purpose. This is what you're going to do. I said, but I still don't have skills and gifts. And I'm like, how will I know you're genuinely with me? They said, we are with you. And you're going to spread the message of love heals all. And you're going to be working with love. So I was like, okay. And
And this is all happening while you are in that fluffy space.
fluffy space, that plasma energy body, jumping. I can't even feel my body. It's just electrics. I can't even explain. Like I said, I can't explain this.
And were there other plasmas around?
There were. I could feel the masters. I could feel the guides. I could feel a lot of beings. It's not that I couldn't feel a lot of them, because this was my moment right now with the divine, which I call it as pure field of love. My experience of it was pure field of love. And it said, you're going back. And I said, yeah, but now what? So they said, wait, I'm going to work with you in a form. This form is going to be your perpetual guide. And when they said that, in the sky, or wherever that place was, that infinite field, the shape of Sai Baba came again, and his face, and he's smiling again. I again got the same feeling of nurturing, love, softness. So this voice, okay, said, I am going to be working with you in this form. I am God who's going to work with you in this form of Sai Baba. And every time you will look at him, he's going to guide you through the journey. And as I'm saying that, as I've been told this, Sai Baba is smiling. Suddenly from the plasma, there is this body form that's come through. He puts his hand on my center of my forehead. And I'm like, what are you doing? He says, you will know when the time is right. We are activating you in some way with certain things. When that happens, it will start unfolding for you. Okay?
Wow.
And I was like, okay. I cannot give out a lot of details, but whatever little I can share. And lo and behold, next thing I know, I'm back on earth. I'm alive. Then for the next few days when I was back home, of course, you don't remember everything, or at least they made sure that I don't remember everything. But for next few days, when I would look at the sky, and this was a memory that was given to me very recently. I remember,
2022.
yeah, I remember I used to every night look at the sky, talk to the moon. I call it my moon mama. So I used to talk to the moon. I used to talk to Baba, because from my room, there was a small temple of Sai Baba. So I used to talk to him every day from my balcony all the way down to where the mandir was and look up. But what the other memory that uncovered for me that day was that in the sky, I used to see these huge angelic beings and communicate with them every day. So what I thought was my conscious awakening in my mid-20s had actually started in my teens.
Oh.
When I had this near-death experience, I was already connecting and communicating. But for some time, that just shut the memory of the angels, conscious memory for me. After that, I don't remember ever talking about them, which is why I told you that I didn't know angels existed. But actually, my deeper subconscious knew, because I had witnessed it when I was 17 and a half. And when I'd almost died and I came back.
And so why is it that they shut off your memories for years?
What I am guessing, okay, that I still had a lot of journeys and completions to do. And with that energy, I wouldn't have been able to. So I still had to work. I still had to create certain, make certain decisions in my life. I was at a threshold of making certain decisions that time. And, that is what made me want to give up my life, because I was like, there's nothing for me to live now, and the way I came back with that bang, which was given to me, which I didn't know, but like I was telling you that I was a changed person when I came back, and I took a huge step. I moved out in a year's time, literally to start something on my own from scratch. And if I was seeing things and feeling things, I think I would have been in the hospital again thinking that this woman is hallucinating. So, in a way, I'm happy that they had shut the memory. Plus, I had a lot of karmic completions to do. I'm sure I will have a lot more. We have lifetimes to do this. But because of that, they had halted that journey for some time, saying, let her just work with sanity, certain things that she needs to do. And then the memory was awakened when I was meant to start living my purpose, which happened in my mid 20s. And then I told you I quit because I was supposed to start the work.
Yeah.
But because I was not supposed to start the work before that many years, it was, it would happen in my dreams, it would happen in my sleep. But you would just pass it as a fairy tale because I've read a lot of Enid Blyton's.
It seems like they came in your life at 2 points where you were transitioning.
Yes.
So, is it true that angelic beings come more strongly when we are going through a huge transition in our lives?
Absolutely, absolutely. They will come to us when we are going through lots and lots of transitions, when transformation is due in your life, when you have to make certain choices of the soul. Their presence will be felt a lot more at that time. They're there all the time, actually, can I be honest? They're with us 24/7. But these are the times because see, deep down we are also saying, somebody help me. I'm at a point of making a choice. Deep down you are asking for help, saying, I don't know what I'm doing, somebody give me clarity. Okay, so they will come through because you're asking for clarity. You're asking for, please tell me how to move forward. What do I do next? This is an implicit, you're not really explicitly saying show up, but you're asking someone for help.
Yeah.
And then they're showing up for you. But they're always there for massive transformations and transitions.
Wow. That is beautiful.
And that, whether you call or not, you will feel their presence a lot of times. A lot of times you can sense it, feel it.
So, Shilpa, how can we invite angels in our lives every day? Like, you've had an experience where you've literally seen them. You've seen them in the physical form. But what about other people who haven't really seen them? How can we start building that connection, that faith with angelic beings?
Yeah, so one thing is energy, intention. Like I said, they said it matters is the intention. You don't need really rituals, कि आपको, because these days a lot of people tell me, do I have to do a ritual? Can I put a candle? Can I when I put an apple? No, actually, you just have to say, hey, are you around? Show me a sign. It's as simple as calling your best friend on a speed dial. Yeah, your angels are on your speed dial. So first thing you can say is, hi, I want to connect right now. In this moment, you can say, hey, I want to connect. And when you talk to your friends, there is something called as good morning, or there is a warm wishes. Wake up and say, hi, good morning.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many rituals right now happening in the space of spirituality. People do so many different things, and I'm never able to really understand.
Yeah.
There's so many things that have to be done in a particular way, and I can't do it. I'm just like, this is not happening. I'm not going to be able to do this.
No, just speed dial them. Thak is just a press of a button, which what I really mean is it's just a thought from your heart. And the moment you say, hey, be connected with me from today onwards all the time, your affirmation is strong enough for a perpetual connection. And then acknowledging them, hey, I know you're around, show me a sign. And there are so many signs, and we spoke about the book earlier. You can look through that, or you can ask them to give you 3 different signs. But the beauty with angels is, don't tell them what signs to give you. Let them choose. The universe has its own way to reach out to you. So they will give you the sign which they think is appropriate for you to understand it. So what I would usually do is I say, give me a sign that I understand, okay?
Yeah.
Talk to me in a language that I understand. And they will turn around for you. So first thing to do in your daily life is just wake up and say, good morning.
Good morning, angels.
Yeah. Or say, whatever task you have for the day, or you have any assignment for the day, you have a meeting for a day. Listen, I'm going to meet this person today. Do you have any idea for me? How do I communicate? It's a difficult conversation. How can I tackle this difficult conversation? What do I need to do or not do? You can involve them in those conversations.
They can be a part of your day-to-day life, is it?
Absolutely. What I do is I look to my calendar. You know, I've organized all my notes on my phone, and I'll check my entire schedule. And how the CEOs have executive assistants, EAs. These are my EAs, my eternal angelic assistants. So I call them my personal EAs, and I'm like, this is my schedule. Whatever is right, let it happen. Whatever is not, let it fall. And I trust that the highest will happen. So the thing with the angels is I also say I trust that the highest will happen.
And you do this every day?
Every day. I just give them my schedule and talk to them. I said, kya karna hai, kaise karna hai. Whatever insights I get, then grow it. If not, during the course, as and when the meeting goes through, I start getting answers and intuitive insights from them.
And how do you receive these insights?
So for me, it comes in the form of sound and sensation. Sometimes it will also give me visions, but it starts with the sound and then the other senses follow. So angels talk to us through one of our senses. Okay, so intuition is used, or intuition will communicate with you through one of your gateways. Either you will have an inner vision, or you will have a sound, or a feeling, or a thought which is out of the blue, which is not how you think. This is how they communicate
But
with
it's
us.
something different.
Yes, something different.
Something more expansive, right? It
Yes.
expands your consciousness.
Also very light, because you know what? Anything that makes you feel light is an intuitive response. Your heart is expanding, it's feeling light,
Yeah.
and you're feeling energized. When you're guided by your beings, the feeling is very energized. You can't be depleting of that energy. So when you vibe, because you feel energized, your vibration is going high, and they're communicating, and they are very funny. They have cosmic humor. They have funny ways to connect with you, and in ways you can't even imagine. So it's not a very serious affair. And they taught me how not to be so serious. I used to be really serious, and they're like, "Why so serious?"
Yeah, I was so serious as well. I was serious for half my spiritual awakening.
No. They taught me that humor is everything. Having a childlike curiosity is everything.
Yeah.
Being in a state of wonder is everything.
And that's how you were when you were in that fluffy space, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was
You
like
were like
a little
a
child and jumpy, and I was still conversing and negotiating. Because the classic image that is given is कि but मेरा ऐसा था. It was literally heart to heart, and I could be me. Where you can be you is when your beings are around you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, do you feel that we will all go back to this fluffy space after we die?
I don't know. I can't answer this question because we all have different journeys. And as a past life therapist and someone who works with life between lives as well, there are many dimensions, Ashmita. I mean, what we know on earth is very little.
So, which dimension do you think you went to?
I really don't know. I just know it was God's dimension and dimension of love, and also they reveal information step by step, not everything in one go. I have been given certain answers, but I don't think now is the time to really have that answer come through. But for me, it is dimension of love, pure existence, pure expansiveness, and infinity. That's how I look at it. And all of us will connect to source in some way or other, because if you come, wherever you come from is where you go back. We are all from source. We are all created in the likeness of the image of God.
Yeah. I feel that too. I feel that we've been given a role and we have to play that role well.
Yeah.
Let's say we can't play the role of someone who is, taking sannyas. That's a different role. Or a master who is meditating on the Himalayas. That's their role.
Absolutely.
And we can't match that or even have the goal to match that, because we have to play the role that we've been given and play it damn well.
Absolutely. You are here to play your role, and you're here to play it really well. Can I ask you something? What is the most important part in a car for the car to function?
I think the engine.
Okay, but what if you don't know how to drive?
Yeah, that's the driver is the most important then.
Okay, but the driver is in the car, but there is no key.
Yeah, then it's the key.
The key is also there, and the driver is also there.
And then you need to know
But
how
the door
to
is
drive.
open.
Okay, so you shut the door.
Okay. So what is the most important part of the car?
I think all parts are important.
Absolutely. Even
Every
that little nut or a bolt in a car is extremely important. We are a part of a whole. So can you say that I'm going to leave this door on the side and start driving my car? Unless it's an open car. But can you?
No, we need the door.
Yeah, and if I have everything, but I don't know how to drive then, or I don't have the key, or I don't know how the ignition works, right? So there is not a single part of the car
Yeah.
which is less important than the other. Everything is equally important, and everybody has their own small or big role to play. But what we call it as a small is also a very bigger purpose, because if that nut bolt opens up, the whole door is going to fall off.
Hmm.
And where is your safety then? So everything is important, be it a sadhu, be it a homemaker, be it a corporate person. Everybody is important on earth. Every role
Yeah.
is meant for the larger picture, to make it a complete picture. In the end, we are all connected to the same fabric. And that entire fabric is what makes the blanket of life, or what we call it as a God consciousness, or the field. I am better than you are better than me doesn't even exist, or oh, you're a healer, or oh, you're an author, and oh, I'm just nothing. No, even that is equally important.
Hmm.
Each one of us has a role to play. You can't just have a teacher, and what will a teacher do if there is no student? How will a student be if there is no parent to support? You see, so everybody is contributing to someone's life in some form of other, form
And
or the other,
and
rather.
everyone's role is as important as the
Equally
other.
important, it's equanimous.
Hmm.
The idea is to play your role to the fullest, wholeheartedly, with fun, laughter. I mean, why so serious? Just live. Just
Yeah.
live.
And invite divine support, divine help whenever needed. All the time.
All the time. They're a part of you, na? How are
Hmm.
you different from it? We are made of mind, body, and spirit. It is within you. It is around you all the time. It's just with you. You just have to become aware and cognizant of it and tune into it. We get, most of us tend to get disconnected from it. We don't listen to the voice of the spirit, which is where your angels are there, which is where your love is there. Just wake up to that sound. Listen to the sound of love. Tune into the spirit. The word inspiration comes from inspiration,
Yeah.
right?
That's how I named my brand in Spirit
Oh,
Store.
interesting.
Being in spirit.
Being in spirit,
Yeah.
right? So your inspiration also comes from when you are in alignment with your spirit.
Yeah, correct.
So the idea is that it is all the time with you, within you. Just all you need to do is tune in,
And how do you tune in?
just with the intention.
Just with the
I
intention.
always say that it's as simple as you make it out to be. You have to listen to that sound though, or you have to feel the sound or sense it, whatever is your primary way of receiving messages. Just say, what would love do? You know what I used to do for one of my, what would love want me to do today?
Hmm.
How does love feel like? How does love sense like?
Wow, that's interesting. What would love want me to do? And we can ask that to ourselves every day.
Every day. You can also ask yourself, how can I love myself a little more? We
Hmm.
have this grandmama's voice, uncle's voice, auntie's voice, teacher's voice, self-critic voice. So when all of these voices take over, you're not able to hear your real voice.
Yeah.
And then there's so many self-limiting beliefs and the generations of stories that we come with and myths, everything. We all have our own stories of conditioning and limiting beliefs. These are the times inviting your angels, inviting your guides, and asking yourself, what would love want me to do today? And is this a choice I would like to make? And is this my real choice?
Hmm.
And like I said, every time love is responding or your guides are responding, you will feel more energized, not depleted. The more energized you feel,
And you will get more in tune with your own spirit,
absolutely,
with
you'll
your own
feel
soul.
light, you'll feel buoyant. Like, "Ah, karna hai, I want to make this happen.
And that's how you'll align to your highest destiny, isn't it?
Always, always. And remember, our highest and the best keeps changing every day because we are work in progress. You've heard my favorite pet peeve, WIP till RIP. We are
Yeah.
work in progress till rest in peace. So we don't know our ultimate highest, but we can strive to give our best in the moment, and we know our best is going to change because from yesterday I'm a little different person. Today I've come here and I've learned so many new things.
Yeah.
The attitude of learning, the attitude of curiosity, like I said, earth is just one little dimension. There is so much more, the vastness. So having that openness, that there is much more to life than what meets the eyes.
Yeah. That can expand us so much.
Absolutely, we are in infinite possibilities of reality,
And we're ever evolving.
always.
That's beautiful.
It's funny. I'm going to do wordplay. The word evolve also has love in it. If you look at it,
Hmm. Yeah.
EVOLV, barring the extra E, that is love.
That's
The more
beautiful.
you love yourself, the more you will evolve. The more, and you can only give what you have. So the more you love yourself, the more you love others. People have started to believe that loving yourself is wearing good clothes, eating good food. That's just one part of it.
Hmm.
Loving yourself can be being kind to those negative thoughts, or let me say the thoughts which are not in alignment, but they're really taking your energy down, depleting thoughts.
Yeah.
That can be loving
I
yourself.
think that's the starting point,
That is
right?
the starting point. That can you be kind to yourself?
Hmm.
Because love, kindness, compassion, they all go hand in hand.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, you told me, so when you were in that whole
Oh,
fluffy
we are back to the
space,
fluffy state.
when you were in that beautiful fluffy space and you were told that this form, which is of Sai Baba, will work with you. So, my last question to you is, what message does Sai Baba have for us today?
See, I'll tell you what I know of Sai Baba. He believes that we are all one. He says Sabka Malik Ek, which means there's one God, one consciousness. And he always says that be kind to each other. The only religion we have is a religion of humanity. Can we be human enough with each other and spread the love and be kind? Just be kind. Yeah, because he had told me something which I'd written it in the book itself, that what is love and what love is not. And if you want, I can read that, because for me, that is what is right now flashing before me.
Yes,
That I
that
should be
would be
reading that
great.
particular page that he had given to me when I was writing this book. Can I? Is it okay if I read
Yes,
it?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because it flashed, I think I will take that as a message. Um, I'm sure Sai Baba wants me to read this because it wouldn't come to me otherwise, but I'm just going to start now. Love heals all. Love heals and not hurt. Love protects and not destruct. Love helps evolve and not block. Love cherishes and not denigrate. Love supports and not oppose. Love is to walk with and not walk away. Love soothes and not prick. Love is the only thing that brings peace, joy, and harmony. Love is to laugh and celebrate. Love is to leave a trail of ecstasy and bliss. My prayer is that each one of you experiences infinite love, inside, out. And love is the answer to all your concerns, because love heals all.
Wow, that is beautiful. Yeah, and I think even my mentor, Wayne Dyer, would also say, whatever is the question, love is the
Love is
answer.
the answer. And if
That's
you don't find the answer, double up the dose of love.
that's amazing. If you don't find the answer, double up the
Dose
dose
of
for love.
love.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Shilpa, for being with us today. It was a lovely conversation and I enjoyed every bit of it. And I think it has expanded me, it has expanded the way that I view life. And I want to see so much more, experience so much more in life just after hearing all of this from you. And more so, I want to work on my faith, increase my faith, invite the angelic beings to come in and support. Even more so now, I've already been working with them, but your story has just up leveled my faith. So I am grateful to have you here. It was just amazing talking to you, and hopefully I can speak to you again very soon and we can talk about something very deep in terms of all the dimensions that you spoke about, exploring the fluffy space even more.
Absolutely.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, and I'm just going to add to the word faith, Ashmita. First of all, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you really for having me. This story of my life, the one of 17 and a half, has been a very recent story for me also, experience that came back to me. So thank you for letting me go through that. Each time I speak about it, I get very nostalgic and I just enter into that space. Uh, to deepen the faith, something very beautiful that all of us can do is to start by counting our blessings and thanking each day, because the more you thank, the more the universe and your guides gives you the reason to be more and more grateful for, and they keep opening up your pathway. So the
Yeah.
moment you acknowledge and say thank you, they're very excited to help you a little more.
Wow.
And that in itself is acknowledging and deepening your faith, that hey, they're still looking after me, not that they need thank you. I think it's about us building up our faith and literally pausing and acknowledging the little things of life.
And that has been changing my life. I've been practicing gratitude for the last 20, 30 days, and I can see how each day my life is progressing towards my dreams, my purpose. It's aligning to my highest destiny. Whatever I want is taking place on a daily basis, and I can see the improvement. I can see the evidence in my gratitude book of how every day is shifting, and there is so much more to be grateful on an everyday basis. And
Don't you feel abundant?
yes, so abundant. It's just that little shift in perspective that when you write down, let's say 10 things that you're grateful for, it just that it shifts you from noticing what's going wrong to what's going right.
And also, I'm sure this must be happening with you. I'm very certain that the moment you start writing what's working for you, this starts expanding.
Yeah.
And there is a sense of love and joy and grace that is flowing in that moment that, wow. And then you are again in that vibrational field of inviting much higher frequencies and the field of consciousness to connect back with you.
Yeah.
You
Much
know?
greater.
Much greater.
And how beautiful it is that such a simple thing can change your life. And we complicate the faith so
Hannah,
much.
I completely agree. We complicate rituals, angels, they all have their own time and space, but they're just here with your thought. All it needs is a good heart and calling upon them. Just your intention.
Yeah.
And there you are.
That's beautiful. That's amazing and so
Yeah.
simple.
Very simple. So, there's this favorite quote of mine, there's magic in the air, there are angels everywhere. It's actually all around us all the time. So I pray everybody experiences this
I'm
magic.
sure there's magic in the air and angels everywhere right here.
Absolutely, they are.
Yeah.
Of course, they are.
So
Thank
beautiful.
you.
So before we end this, I know that you've been working on dreams a lot, and that is where a lot of the spiritual growth is happening for you right now, and that is what you're also teaching other people. So tell me something about that. And I also hear a rumor that there might be a book being written around that.
Is there an angel telling you that?
Maybe, could be.
Yes. So dreams. Dreams for me are portals to another world. But they, not only they're portals, they foretell, they forewarn. They are the letter, unopened letter from divine to you, waiting to be opened. So the moment you understand how to interpret them and work with them, you've opened the letter. It's a message from your soul back to you and message from God back to you. And I've been wondering this for many years, that why was 8 hours of sleep created and what does it really mean to sleep and to dream? And a lot of my dreams, as you're aware, and we've had this conversation, have been very precognitive, which means that whatever I'm dreaming do tend to come true in days to come. So that got me really fascinated and hooked up some years ago, and I've been working on dreams for 30 long years now, like for myself. And now, of course, I am sharing with people how to work with dreams, how to decipher dreams, how to travel in the dream world, how to consciously dream, not just sleep and dream like the way we are consciously talking, consciously eating. How can you literally have a great time just before sleeping and receive all the answers in the dream world? And we can dream travel. It's a whole
wow.
new world. I call it as my ultimate portal. I told you earlier as well that my teachers guide me in my dream. But it's not just guiding, sometimes it's also fun stuff that I do,
Like
Pick up-
what?
Pick up certain gifts, travel somewhere else, come back, be in another universe. So it's fun. So that got me inspired. I am already working. I'm doing a dream study online course right now. I'm guiding people how to decipher dreams, but also how to journey in the dream world and find more answers. So there's a dream library. You can enter there and get answers. So my intention now, and the rumor you heard, I wonder who the rumor monger is. But yes, I am definitely intending to write a book. In a couple of months to come. It's still at a very nascent stage, the idea and the inception, but I'm very excited to share with the larger audience and the world at large that what does it mean to sleep, what does it mean to dream, and what is the power and potency of the entire dream world.
Wow.
And there's some amazing, lovely scriptural stories and folklores that I'm going to be adding to it. Very small snippets, but how it is going to be how dreams have been with us from day one. I'm just going to end it with this one line that did you know that Mahavishnu, when he was sleeping, and when he was sleeping, from his navel came the lotus and Lord Brahma. And Brahma, and this is all happening while he's sleeping, he's dreaming, Lord Brahma comes through, and from there the world was created. So we are actually a dream within a dream.
Oh, that's deep. We will need another podcast to go really deep into that space, but I think we will definitely do that sometime in the future where we'll just talk about the dreams and that portal and how to open it for us and what all we can discover in that portal. But that's beautiful, and we look forward to the book and whatever else that you're working on next. Tell us how we can connect with you. If someone wants to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
So they can get in touch with me on my Instagram, which is soulmagic_Shilpa. Then through the Living with Angels in the last page, everywhere one can get in touch with me is written over there. Or one can email me at shilpa.m.menon@gmail.com. These are the only two places I think one can get in touch with me, or Facebook, Shilpa M. Menon. So I'm not very much on social media. So I have only two accounts at this moment. But emails is where one can really reach out to me as well and write to me, definitely.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And whosoever wants to get in touch, the details are below. So go ahead and check that out. So if any of you have had any angelic experiences, please share that in the comment below. We would love to read them. It will automatically help us all increase our faith, our belief in the angelic presence, in the light beings, and help us raise our consciousness. So go ahead, let's talk in the comments below. I'll be there replying to each one of you. And thank you for watching this podcast with us. It was lovely having you for my very first podcast. I'm so excited to bring you so much more. Thank you.